TV's Rick Blood is here.
Rick Blood. Rick Blood.
Rick Blood. Rick Blood.
Hey, that's cool.
Welcome to Unfiltered. I'm filming you. With my handy little GoPro cam. Is the light blinking, Bruce?
Yeah.
Okay. Not anymore. We're done. That's it. Shoots great video. We're going to see a clip a little bit later. That was my Christmas present. Awesome little rig. And like I said, we're going to see a little clip later of a tour from Marlborough Street to Tanglewood. Perfect. As well as we've got new credit video for 2011. It's a tribute to aircraft carrier flight deck rats. All the guys that work up on the flight deck and risked their life and limb to launch and recover those planes up there. Where to start? We've been off for a couple weeks. I know I said I was going to get a best of episode done for New Year's Eve, but you know something? I got real lazy. I had the GoPro cam. I had my new Canon Rebel digital SLR camera that I spent my vacation week out shooting photos. New Year's Day, I climbed Pitcher Mountain and shot the first sunrise of the year. It was great. I was probably the only one who didn't have a hangover on New Year's Day. What's been going on this week? It's been busy because having a week off, we kind of have to catch all back up here at Cheshire TV. But there's a lot of things bothering me this week because there are a lot of bothersome things happening in the news. For instance, some really educated person, I guess, I'm not sure whose idea it was, but somebody has come up with the idea that we need to rewrite Huckleberry Finn. Apparently Mark Twain is not as good a writer as we thought he was. But we have to take out some words. He used some words that he shouldn't have used. And as a professional writer, you'd think he would have known that. But no, apparently we have to take out all the references to niggers in Mark Twain. Because we have to pretend that people have always treated them with respect and with equal rights, I think. I'm going to jump. I want to thank Bruce and Andrea. We're going to bring back, it's the return of useless information. We're going to have more a little bit later, but I saw one right here. Another part that may have to be removed from Huckleberry Finn. Because in it, Huckleberry Finn, they talk about his cure for warts. And Huckleberry Finn's cure for warts is swinging a dead cat in a graveyard at night. I think we better get rid of that before kids start swinging dead cats around in the graveyard in the middle of the night. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can't just rewrite literature or ban literature. It's art. And if you do rewrite Huckleberry Finn, where are you going to stop? You know, if we can't read the word nigger because it's inappropriate, then by all means, take your ass over to Italy, gather up all those statues, such as, you know, Venus de Milo, David, the Thinker, gather up all those statues, take them to one of them prisons where they make little rocks out of big rocks and smash the hell out of them because, if you haven't noticed, they're naked. I can see David's little pee-pee thing. And if I can see it, little kids who look at it can see it. Now, is that the way we want to raise our kids? To be looking at things like that and appreciating things like that?
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, yeah, but we live in times where the technology is getting so huge and our ways of thinking are getting so small. And it doesn't make sense. It's just, I had the great pleasure of filming, once again, the Monadnock School Board meeting that you all will see run tomorrow afternoon, and was appalled at the pompous, self-indulgent, not only school board members, but members of the public as well. Everything does not revolve around you. Let's get that straight right now. For one thing, if you don't like the job that schools are doing, then homeschool your kids. Your tax money is still going to go to the schools. Then again, some of your tax money that you pay goes to fixing roads. And if you don't drive, it's the same thing as paying taxes and not having a kid in school. If you don't drive and pay taxes, your taxes are fixing the roads. If you're in a wheelchair, you know, or if you are bedridden, your taxes go to fix parks and sidewalks and places that you'll never even see. But guess what? You still pay taxes. And I don't see, you know, bedridden people complaining that their tax money is going to fix roads that they can't use. I'm just taking the logic that's presented and taking it here and then here. The thing that you should have done before you guys opened your mouths and started talking at these school board meetings, whether you're public input, and granted, it's a tough decision. The main piece this week was about their school resource officer. If anybody doesn't know what a school resource officer is, that's the cop who is basically stationed in school, just in case. A lot of people in Swansea don't believe they need a school resource officer, despite the fact that 10 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever it was, a young man walked into the school with a rifle and started shooting. Not to mention, yesterday in Omaha, Nebraska, a 17-year-old kid walked into the school, shot the principal and vice principal of the school. Yeah, we don't need resource officers. We don't need a cop anywhere within 50 miles of a school. You know? And somebody made the brilliant point that the safest place for a kid to be is in a school building. Not these days, I don't think. Maybe some of the Keene school buildings, because, or the Winchester school. I was over at the Winchester school because I was filming a Vision 2020 segment for Chris Coates and Kendall Lane. And when I got there, I had all my gear, and I went to open the door, and guess what? The doors are locked. So I rattled on the doors, and you have to get buzzed into the school. I was shocked. It's sad that it has come to that. And what I want to know is, where were all you people when I was a little kid? How come you didn't want to protect me? Or Greg, or Bruce, or Andrea?
We used to get in and out of
Nobody
school.
was protecting us. Nobody was taking care of bullies for us. If we got bullied, we sucked it up and took it. Or you lashed out and, you took it for as long as you could take it, and then you lashed out and did some damage. Kids are spoiled. They don't need half of what they've got. They don't earn half of what they get. I think what we should do is demand that kids have responsibility. And, maybe school boards wouldn't have to work so hard. Granted, it's budget season, and like I said, the topic was the school resource officer, whether to keep him or let him go. It's, I believe it was a $74,000 budget item for the year, which a lot of people go, well, that's real high. Well, it's not really, because I believe that some of that $74,000 has to do with like his benefits package. Because you have to give a benefits package. And if you watch the school board meeting tomorrow, keep your ears open, because at one point somebody lays out a list of some of the expenditures in the budget. And one thing that stuck in my head was $120,000 for 2 secretaries. What? A secretary makes $60,000 a year?
Well, benefits.
Even with benefits, that's way too much for a secretary. Secretary is entry-level job. $15 an hour tops. 10. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And people don't want to lose teachers. But in the cycle of life, there are times when large groups of kids are born. In the span of 4 or 5 years, you have an extremely large amount. And then there'll be a point of 4 or 5 years where not as many. So your enrollments go like this. When the enrollment is high, what happens around here, or when the enrollments are low, what happens is kind of weird, because what we do to save money is we start closing entire school buildings and selling them. So the next time that we go up on an upward enrollment, then we're scrambling, where are we going to put all these kids? And how are we going to teach? How come we got 45 kids in a classroom? Because you sold 3 school buildings 2 years ago. Apparently nobody saw the fact that, it's the same thing. I get the same way with my mother, because every time it snows, she starts freaking out. Like it's her first snowstorm ever. What are we going to do? It's snowing. It snowed last year too. It's the same thing. It just happens again and again and again. Get used to it. Remember. Jesus. I'm supposed to be the one that forgets stuff. Man. What's the other thing that really upset me over there? Oh, I heard this term. Overzealous AIDS activist, in reference to Susan McNeil. And I went, wait a minute, that just doesn't fit. That's like saying, an overzealous cancer researcher, on the hunt for a cure for cancer is overzealous. Because they're warning people, is the American Lung Association overzealous because they're trying to get us to all quit smoking? It's apparently Monadnock School Board, for any of you who haven't haven't heard, after the visit from AIDS Services with the AIDS quilt, in which AIDS Services offered safe sex kits, which, from what I understand, included condoms, flavored lubricant, and flavored lubricant or unflavored lubricant. Either way, the purpose of the lubricant is because it's been shown that using a condom without using a lubricant increases the chance of the condom breaking by like an enormous amount. And, you know, if you're going to wear a condom, you don't want it to break. You don't want to go to all that trouble for nothing, in other words. It also had, the kits also contained a little peppermint candy. And some of the school board members were quite upset that this little safe sex kit had a piece of candy in it. Because I guess once you start throwing candy around, it's all geared towards the kids. The reasoning behind the candy in the safe sex kits is not to entice kids. It's not a Happy Meal gift. The candy is for the simple fact that after sex, a lot of people smoke a cigarette. But you know something? It's another healthy alternative. By putting a piece of candy in a safe sex kit, you're saying, look, have safe sex, and then if you're going to have safe sex, why immediately when you're done with safe sex, you go to something that's very dangerous like smoking. You know, have a piece of candy. It's safer. So, you know, and just, I don't understand their thinking. You have to make kids aware. Anybody, and like I've said it before in shows, if you've got a kid in, I'll say 8th grade to through high school, that kid's doing at least a few things that you as parents have no clue about. You think you do, but you don't. Think about it. You were kids. I want all the parents to think right now, you were kids. How many things did you do that your parents didn't know about? And probably to this day don't know about? Because, yeah, see? Yeah, it's the same. Kids don't change. They're actually getting smarter. And we're helping them get that way by the video games. Oh, that reminds me. We did the Christmas show. And in the Christmas show, I ran a clip of Scarewolf reading The Night Before Christmas. Scarewolf is the host of a show here on Cheshire TV called Saturday Fright Special. He's a guy who wears a werewolf mask and a top hat. Well, I think he had a Santa hat on. I got a message on Facebook from some kid in Richmond. Said he was watching the show. His first point was that I should get a teleprompter because he couldn't follow a thing that I was saying. My advice would be to have another beer. I get better the drunker you are. Or indulge in some other way, because I just get better. His other point was he didn't think Scarewolf was that good because it scared his little boy so bad that he had to turn the TV off. The only thing I have to say is, as a parent, you should be ashamed of yourself. You don't set a little kid in front of my show. I've been doing this show for 4 years, and I've never, ever made an announcement that my show is good for little kids. Unless you want your little kid to just, you know, be like me. Don't put little kids in front of my show. Ugh. Just, and then he's got the right, you know, to say, oh, bad you for making a show like that. I was a bad parent for putting your kid in front of it. If you got a little kid that age, you should be watching Sesame Street Christmas or something, you know? But, or Charlie Brown Christmas, yeah. Maybe the Grinch doesn't scare the kid, but Scarewolf does. I don't know. Okay. Is that all I wanted to cover? Yeah, that's all I wanted to cover for now. Yeah, we might as well do that. Because it's good in time. We'll get the crew call. Unfortunately, Jim is off doing the whole city thing, as usual on every third Thursday of the month or second Thursday of the month, whatever it is.
It's only the first Thursday.
Is it? That's right. I guess it's first Thursday. I don't know. I don't do city council, so I'm lucky. Well, camera one, we got Greg already up. And in the booth is Bruce and Andrea.
Yep, in the booth this week is Bruce and Andrea.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
And we weren't
I've already screwed up the date twice, 3 times at work.
Happy New Decade.
That's true. It is a new decade.
Yes.
Very cool.
And we didn't have a hangover.
No, we didn't have a hangover. We was in bed by 11:30 or so. I mean, you guys came over and hung out for a couple hours. We watched Despicable Me.
Oh, that's right. Yes. That's
with
right.
the little yellow guys. That's a cute movie, but
It's all right.
I wasn't in any great hurry to stay up and ring in the new year. I figured it was going to happen whether I was awake to watch it or not. So
Well, that's it. That's it. I mean, I would have liked to have stayed up just to see who was it Madonna or one of them bimbo star actress girls got dropped in the ball. Maybe it was Lady Gaga or something.
I have no
But somebody was
idea.
in one of the balls that dropped.
I never even saw
Oh,
it.
that was the girl from Jersey thing.
Oh, that's right. The Jersey Shore girl there, Snooki.
Oh, Snooki.
Yeah, she's a piece of work. She is.
Oh, she's. Yeah.
Meanwhile, up in Eastport, Maine, my sister and her fiance, boyfriend, whatever he is, they went into Eastport and saw the sardine drop. Because apparently up in Eastport, Maine, that's what they drop. Instead of dropping a big ball, they drop a sardine.
Why not a lobster?
Further up, they drop trees.
Further up, they drop trees, yeah, like X-Men. So, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Bruce.
that's all right. We didn't have much going on. We just trying to take it easy, survive from the get over the holiday season and catch up on bills and all that usual stuff. But
Now, you said before the show that you had a bitch tonight. Another fast food incident?
no, it wasn't a fast food joint. It's these crossing guards. They're very useful people. Thank goodness that somebody's out there looking out for the kids to get across the street. But when it says crossing guard on your vest, you shouldn't take it upon yourself to be a traffic cop. It just drives me nuts that they decide to hold up traffic and let people out of side streets in their vehicles when they have a stop sign instead of allowing people on the main thoroughfare to continue on their way. So if you're a crossing guard, just remember, look down at your chest and remember what your task is, what your job is. You're not out there to direct traffic. You're out there to stop it, to let the kids go by. And then you get your ass out of the road and let the traffic continue.
Good point. Yeah.
You need to be
But
trained to direct traffic.
That's all I have.
All right. All right. Has anybody seen over the last 2 days this guy out from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, the homeless guy that was has the golden voice, and he was homeless because he'd been a drug addict and an alcoholic and hadn't got his life back together. And somebody posted a piece on YouTube, and within like 5 hours, the thing had 11 million hits or something. The guy became, that was yesterday. They flew him to New York, and he was in the studio on the Today Show this morning. He's already had hundreds and hundreds of job offers for his voice. He's got one of those deep Shadow Stevens radio voices. Really, beautiful voice. I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers have offered him a home and a salary to be their PA announcer. Kraft Macaroni and Cheese wants him to be the official voice of Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. All kinds of TV stations, and I would imagine probably game shows are clamoring over him, you know, because he's got a great voice, and it's a success story. I saw the story on the Tonight Show or the Today Show this morning, and he got a little bit choked up, you know, as he was talking about a couple of different things. And I was thinking, man, with the voice that this guy's got, you should make him the Speaker of the House. And I bet he doesn't cry half as much as that John Boehner guy does. Because have you seen him? He got the other thing about Boehner, I guess when you're the Speaker of the House, you get to go to the gavel store and pick out your own gavel. And John Boehner picked the biggest one they had. So I don't know what you can read whatever you want into that. So he may just be compensating, but who knows? Hey, Bruce was talking about crossing guards being cops. I want to roll into this guy that is charged with drunken driving. He got arrested Christmas Eve in suburban Cleveland. And he told the cops Ozzy Osbourne and his music made me do it. Yeah. Blame it on Ozzy. Same as always. My kid became a heroin addict and killed himself after listening to Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, okay. He's charged with operating a vehicle while impaired. In an unrelated case, he pled not guilty in Cuyahoga County in a November break-in at a medical office. But yeah, I'm drunk and I'm driving. Ozzy made me do it. Why not? You gotta stop blaming shit on Ozzy, you know, he's only gonna be around for a short time longer, you know. Why couldn't you blame it on, I don't know, like Lemmy from Motorhead, you know, or somebody like that? Somebody who's not really a... Yeah, Bon Jovi made me do it. Who's the other one? Oh, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, Barry.
No, wait, yeah. Miley Cyrus is the one that was smoking the bong recently, right?
Yeah.
And I found out why. You know, she cut a tune with Bret Michaels.
That's what it happened.
They did a duet on a song, and I bet that's, you know, yeah. It's not good. Not good. All right, well, we're about halfway into the show. Let's do the GoPro video, because this little camera is so cool, and this is what I'm going to use to film my next series. It's going to be, and this is a little 6-minute piece of what the new show will be like. So enjoy. All right. So that's it. I mean, it's basically what I want to do is train time out of my car. So it's kind of neat. It's very hypnotic to watch. The camera has such a wide angle of view that it gives you such a kind of a weird perspective. Still got a little bit of some tweaks to make to it. I have to move the camera up on the dashboard to lose a little bit of the dashboard in front. I plan to have road signs come in to tell which route I'm driving on, the town line signs to show which town I'm on, things like that. But it's a work in progress, and within the next couple of months I'll be kicking that show off. It's also, I took some video with the thing of me sliding with the thing on my head. That's real bumpy, and I was afraid that one of those clips might make Andrea a little woozy because there's a lot of movement in the camera. Apparently in Romania, the witches are upset because they have to pay taxes now. Romanian witches, fortune tellers. Witches. They're angry about having to pay taxes for the first time, and they're planning to use cat excrement and dead dogs to cast spells on the president and the government.
They're fortune tellers, and they couldn't see that coming?
Apparently not. A dozen witches will hurl the poisonous mandrake plant into the Danube and put a hex on government officials, so evil will befall them. Maybe we should get some of them Romanian witches to come over here and throw some stuff around, so evil will befall some of the people that we don't like. I don't know, but under the new law, like any self-employed person, they will pay 16% income tax and make contributions to health and pension programs. So, I don't know. They say they don't make that much money because apparently fortune telling isn't like, $100 an hour. They say it's about $7 to $10 per consultation. I don't know. I can never see the point in getting a fortune teller to tell my fortune. Because knowing me, it would only take one minute little thing to change the future, right? If you turn left instead of right one day, oops, you just screwed up everything. I don't know. But good for them. They got to pay taxes. And well, they should. Apparently in Chicago yesterday, during United Airlines flight to Frankfurt, Germany from Chicago, a cockpit crew member spilled his drink on some equipment. And it prompted a chain of events to inadvertently send an alert that the plane was being hijacked. This is why pilots shouldn't drink when they fly.
Drinking and driving is bad for you.
Yeah. See, they didn't say drink, they said beverage. So I'm thinking maybe it was a beer and not a mixed drink.
No, it was Irish coffee.
But I guess it caused a problem with one of the aircraft's radio systems, which prompted the pilot to decide to land the plane on Monday evening rather than proceed overseas. While the crew was adjusting the transponder to a frequency needed to alert air traffic control that the plane was having a communications problem, the hijack alert was accidentally triggered. Well, you can't talk now where you've been hijacked. And Bob spilled his damn drink. Yeah. yeah, people, they shouldn't
They would have
fly.
to their life waiting for them when they landed.
Yeah. Good. Let's go through this one. So I tell the crew I had a nice story about a penguin. Apparently this baby penguin eluded the grasp of its penguin tenders and embarked on a tour of the zoo in Berlin. Part of the tour of the zoo. Well, a visitor spotted the African penguin taking a stroll in the lion enclosure. I'm not really sure, but I think a lion would eat a penguin.
Probably.
Maybe. Penguins are birds, kind of birds. Lions are kind of cats. Not a good mix. Said the penguin was lucky because the lions were asleep. In the jungle. Never mind. Rather than braving the icy weather. Took keepers a day to get the penguin out of the den, luring her out with a trail of herrings. Because apparently even the zookeepers won't go into the lion's den. The escape gave the penguin, up to then only known as number 459, a name. Her minder now calls her Leona. And it doesn't say why Leona. I would think, if the penguin walked into a shoe store, maybe calling her Leona after Leona Helmsley. But I don't know. So keep your eye out at the zoo. Penguins don't belong in the lion's cage. There is a guy that's, I think in Florida, who's going to live in a cage with tigers for a month to promote. Or less, depending on the cat's appetites. But yeah, it's kind of weird.
You'd be tired after a month of not sleeping.
Yeah. All right, we've got 14. So yeah, let's get musical interlude. Then we'll come back. We'll wrap up. Tonight on the Mom's Tattoo musical interlude, I went over a few weeks ago to the Marlborough House in Marlborough, which is the old Catholic church, and filmed the Cush Groove Band. Enjoy.
We do one last song for the set called Glory Love. This is an original song of ours, wrote a little bit ago. Let me find an appropriate tone. Don't remember too much of that night. Don't remember the words, but I remember the fight. I couldn't find my shoes, but I flew out the door, slammed behind me like 1,000 times before I ran down the road, bloody footprints behind. I think you might have found me in a good time.
was Glory Road. And I want to apologize for the audio. It was my first trip at filming over there at the Marlborough House. It's an old Catholic church, is what it is, and it's got beautiful acoustics. If the audio guy that was running their soundboard had brought the volume down a little bit, it would have been just fine. But he had it pushing so hard that once the music got into the room, it all just kind of muddied together and sounded real dirty. But we'll work on that. It's a venue that I hope to do more work at, because it's a beautiful, beautiful looking place to shoot. And as soon as we get the audio dialed in on some of these shows, then we'll have a good thing, I think. So let's go to a few quick cop stories. Yeah. In Wilmington, Delaware, man broke into a house, got drunk, and couldn't make his way back outside. So he had to call 911 for help. It's a sad story. Because this 44-year-old guy had broken into the same home back in April, and I guess got away with it, so he thought he'd try it again. But after the first break-in, the homeowner decided he was going to change the locks. And he installed the kind of locks that you need a key from both sides. Smart guy. Yeah. Apparently there was nobody home when he broke in through a rear window. He stayed for a few days drinking 3 bottles of gin and 2 bottles of whiskey. When he tried to leave, he was too drunk to climb back out the window. Deserves everything he gets, let me tell you.
No, he deserves more.
And crooks in Germany aren't any smarter. I mean, we've already touched on the fact that, you know, there are a lot of idiots in Germany. But apparently, this 26-year-old guy broke into a career advice center in the western town of Ahas on Tuesday night, December 28th. He made several trips taking electronics, food, and sweets back to his flat. But the effort was clearly too strenuous for the man, because returning to the scene of the crime for more goodies, he fell asleep on an office floor, where the police found him still sleeping the next morning. Yeah. Handcuffs were slapped on, and the sleepy burglar was taken to the police station. He was found to be under the influence of alcohol and drugs, and was later released on bail. So a tip: if you're robbing places in the middle of the night, set limits for yourself. You know, don't work until you're too tired to even walk out of the place. I mean,
Take an afternoon nap.
take a nap before you start robbing, not during the robbery. It seems like common sense, but like I said, our scope of thinking these days is so small that people throw common sense right out the window. Such as, I mean, when I saw this headline, I was like, these cops know how to solve a crime. And it was so good, I printed it twice. It happened in Salem, New Hampshire. Right here, because, I mean, even in New Hampshire, we are not free from idiots. I guess it happened around 10:45 a.m. on Thursday at 155 South Policy Street in Salem. Sky Fox happened to be over the scene. So I'm pretty sure you can go on Fox 25 online stuff and see the footage. But police received a call about a man that was trying to kill himself. When they got there, the man was in the street with a knife pointing to his stomach. According to the police, the man went after them and they shot him. That's right. So, I mean, this is like, cops respond to a man who says he's going to kill himself. The cops say, "Oh, no, you're not." Situation defused. Thank you. All right. And like I said, we're down to 3 minutes. Once again, we have the return of, this is, I believe, the 5th in the series of, this is the world's greatest book of useless information. And it says, if you thought you knew all the things you didn't need to know, think again. And I'll pick out, and you know, I used to love these. A lot of people love these. There are 20,000 television commercials made each year that are aimed exclusively at children. 7,000 of them a year for sugared breakfast cereals.
I thought you were going to say McDonald's.
No. No. Oh. Elvis's favorite co-star was supposedly Shelley Fabares, who appeared in 3 of his films. The name of the waltz comes from the German word waltzen, meaning to revolve. Yeah. More cheating takes place in private, friendly gambling games than in all other gambling games combined. Octopush. Has anybody heard of Octopush? It's an underwater hockey game played between teams. Yeah, I didn't know that. The turnip originated in Greece. They can have it back as far as I'm concerned. The average French citizen eats 500 snails a year. They can have them. Seems to me like it would take 500 snails to make one meal, unless they get big snails. In ancient times, parsley wreaths were used to ward off drunkenness. Cheese is the oldest of all man-made foods, and it was probably made by accident. A potato has no more calories than an apple. The darker an olive is, the higher the oil content. 60% of men spit in public because it's a manly, non-disgusting thing to do. It doesn't say. But I did see a thing that a recent study showed, said 3 point, no, all right. I want to thank Mom's Tattoo. I want to thank my crew. I want to thank Cheshire TV. Thank all of you. Till next week. Peace.